1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mike Heading here. Today I'm coming to you with the classic fiddle tune Whiskey Before Breakfast in the key of D. This is a great old fiddle tune that's been made famous by a lot of guitar players over the years. I know Doc Watson did a great version. I believe there's a great version on the Tony Rice and Norman Blake album from a while back that you should definitely check out. And this is a great song that you could play in open D, or you can play capoed up 2 and play it out of C. A lot of guitar players will do that as well. But I'm going to work on it out of open D, so without a capo. One, because I think it's a good workout for your left hand to practice playing in the key of D. The other thing I like about doing without a capo is that we can learn the real chords in the backup, and we don't have to transpose to capo chords. So I think that makes learning it and playing it in a jam session easier when you know the real chords. There's also a bunch of quick changing chords in the B part that we're going to work on that'll give you some good strumming practice as well. I'm going to break down both parts, the A part and the B part, note for note, and then break down a whole bunch of backup I would do. So how to do easy strumming over all the chords, how to do some easy bass walks. I'm going to break that down as well. And if you're watching the preview of this lesson, you can head over to my website, MikeHeadingMusic.com, and grab the full-length lesson. You'll get access to watch all the videos, and you can download the tabs and the practice tracks. All right, here's Whiskey Before Breakfast in the key of D. All right, let's start breaking down this beginner version of Whiskey Before Breakfast in the key of D. So let me play the first 5 measures of the basic A part, then we'll start breaking it down. Here we go. Let's do that a few times. Time real slow. Let's okay, so we're going to start with measure 1 as our pickup. So the A part actually starts in measure 2, but I just gave you an optional pickup, and you can play this if you want to, or you can just start in measure 2. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to walk up to our melody note on the 5th string, so our A string, we're going to play on beat 2, open, and then the 2nd fret with our 1st finger, and then the 4th fret with our, I use my 3rd finger. So we have 1, and they're all quarter notes, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see we're doing 3 downstrokes. In this lesson, I really recommend following the pick direction below the tab. So the staple looking cymbals are downstrokes. The V looking cymbals are upstrokes. So on all the down beats, we're going to do downstrokes, and any of the up beats, we're going to do upstrokes. So follow that pick direction below the tab. That'll really help you play the timing, and it'll also help you develop the proper pick direction, which is really important to improving your playing. So again, we're going to play 3 downstrokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can hear I'm counting beat 1. That's what I recommend, especially if you're a beginner. So you have 1. And then measure 2, we're going to play the open 4th string, and then our 4th fret on the 4th string, and then the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. So we're basically walking up 3 notes. It's like an arpeggio of a D chord. It's the notes that make up a D chord. So we have... It's also good stretching practice there of keeping your 3rd finger down while adding that 2nd fret on the 3rd string. Seeing if you can keep that position down is good practice. So we have... And then we're going to do 4th fret on the 4th string, and then open 3rd string. This will be our first upstroke. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and is how you count measure 2, and that's why we're using an upstroke there, because we're doing 8th notes. We have... Let's do that a few times. And And if you have to lift up your fingers, you can, but it's good practice to try and connect those tones. So let's do the first two measures. 1. Okay, not too hard. Now measure 3. We're going to go back up to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and then 4th fret on the 3rd string. So move your 3rd finger to the 3rd string, and then right back to that 2nd fret. So keep that finger down and do down, up, 2, open, and then back down to the 4th fret. So we're kind of working out of this box shape. I think of it as like basically your 1st finger is covering all these 2nd frets, your 3rd finger is covering all these 4th frets, and we're kind of moving them down. You can see we started on the 5th string, then we played on the 4th string, and now we're playing on the 3rd string as well. So you're kind of using your 1st finger on any of those 2nd frets, your 3rd finger on any of those 4th frets. Again, practice hovering over those positions. You also want to practice, for example, when you lift your 3rd finger up, it doesn't come way back here because it's not going to do anything over there. So kind of practice. I'm also practicing hovering my 1st finger over those 2nd frets. You can even just practice going up those notes and back down. I'm just trying to basically keep my fingers in ready position. So that's what we're doing there. Let's do measure 3 one more time. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 is how you count it. Down, 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 up, down is the pick direction. Measure 4, we're going to do open 3rd string, and then 4 open on the 3rd string. So we have, and then down to the 4th fret, and then 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and then an up on the 4th string, 4th fret. That's tricky, so let's practice that once. We have, so we're doing down, up, even though we're going to a lower string. Let's practice that a few times. That can feel weird, especially if you're a beginner. You're doing down on the 3rd string, up on the 4th string. So you have, you can kind of accent that 1st and 3rd beat. So you have accent and then accent. Now measure 5 down to the 2nd fret on the 4th string, and then we're going to do a little lick. So we did 2nd fret on beat 1, and then 2, 4, 2. That's why it's also so important to keep that finger down so you're not doing this. See how much more work that is than this? So practice keeping that 1st finger down. That's tricky. So you do 2, 4, 2, and then open 4th fret on the 5th string, and then open 5th string. That's kind of like a little run on an A chord. So we have, so that's the first 5 measures. Let's put that together. So we have 1. The basic melody in its most simplest form. So let's do it one more time, a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now measure 6, we're back to that opening melody line. So this fiddle tune follows a very, very common form that I call 1, 2, 1, 3. Or A, B, A, C. So those are the phrases of the melody. So we have our first phrase, then we have our response, now we're back to phrase 1, now we have our 3rd phrase, which is our ending phrase. That's all the same, and now we're going to do a little ending lick. 2nd fret on the 4th string, open 4th string, 4th fret, 5th string, 2nd fret on the 4th string, and then open. So we have, that's good picking practice. Down, up, down, up, down. So again, we have phrases. So even if you just worked on measures 2 and 3, you'd have 50% of the A part down already. So again, if you can remember those phrases, 1, 2, 1, 3, it'll be a lot less to remember. The other thing that's really cool about that is that when you start creating variations on these fiddle tunes, which is a big part of the style, you can now pick your spots to do those variations. So maybe I play phrase 1 the same. Now I do phrase 2. Now I'm back to phrase 1, so this is my spot. I can now do a variation. You know, and I'll break that down in the next A part, but the power of that is then you know where to put those variations, so it still sounds like Whiskey Before Breakfast, but it's a variation. It doesn't completely go off script into a totally new song. Okay, let's do measures 6 through 9 one more time. So it's pretty much all the same, remember. So that's all the same. Now the only thing that's different is measure 9. Okay, so that's the basic A part. Let's play the whole basic A part. Here we go. 1. One more time, a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Recommend following the pick direction. I think that's the single most important thing on this lesson. I think you'll be able to get the left hand moves down with a little bit of practice. Following that pick direction and making sure you're getting that proper timing is super important.